Hey guys, I just wanted to do a little video about my natural hair care routine and how I went from how I used to be to how I am now with just my hair. So I started doing lots of different things to my hair when I was really young because my mom is a hairstylist. So everything was always really available to me, and it was just something that I was always used to. So I had really, really blonde hair when I was little, and then around 11 and 12 it started turning darker, and I was always known as the blonde one, and then my sister had the brown hair. So my mom started highlighting it when I was 12, I think, to keep it lighter for as long as possible. And then when that wasn't making it light enough, I started like dyeing the whole thing. And then around when I was in high school, I started bleaching it blonde. So I bleached it for probably 4 or 5 years straight. And during that time, I never even thought about like the chemicals and everything else being so close to my head and being right on my scalp and being absorbed into my body. That wasn't even a thought. It wasn't until we moved to Arizona and we started becoming more natural, and that was one of the first things that I decided to change because for one, it was just my mom had always bleached it when I lived at home, and then we had moved away from there, so I wasn't near her. So I was bleaching it by myself. But it was also the fact that we realized all the chemicals and everything like that that was in it that was extremely harmful to my body. It was around this time too that my daughter was really into asking questions about how I was doing everything, and one of the things she would always ask me is about my hair, like why I have naturally straight hair. It has a little bit of a wave to it, but not really, and I would still straighten it every day. And so she would ask me things like, well, why do you color your hair? Why can't you just leave it the way that it is? Or why are you straightening your hair? Your hair's already straight. And these questions she would ask me, and then I would kind of ask myself the same thing. Like, think about it, like, why am I doing it? So when I decided to stop bleaching it and coloring it all together, it was really hard for me because I was stuck in this mindset that I was always, that I looked better blonde, and I didn't want to let that go. But my hair was a pixie haircut when I was bleaching it blonde. So I just decided that I wasn't going to do touch-ups anymore on it, and it looked pretty ridiculous because I had the really dark outgrowth, and then it didn't take long for it to really like grow out that long before I decided to like cut the bleach tips off, because that's what I just kept cutting more and more, and then finally I decided to just cut the rest of the bleach off. So then I decided not to color it. I don't own a blow dryer, a curling iron, a straightener. I decided I wasn't going to use any of those things either because it was just, I was teaching my daughter to love herself for who she is and not try to alter her image to try and be like somebody else. But here I was altering myself to really my own standards that I had set for myself. So I just decided that none of it was really worth my time or my energy, and it wasn't setting a good example for her. So I really save a lot of time now with that as well. Without doing my hair, I don't do anything to it. So I don't color it anymore. I haven't since I started growing it out, and it's been somewhat, when I cut it, it was super, super short, just maybe a few inches long, and that was with just the my original hair color. And now this has been 2 years now in September, and it's grown this long. So at first with shampoo, we were using, I was just using what everybody else, pretty much uses, just what is in the store. I was using something specifically for like colored hair, bleached hair. And then when we were more conscious about, like the stuff we were putting in our bodies and on our bodies, I changed it to, there was like a transition where it was like a more natural shampoo and conditioner. And then we only used that for a short time, and then I was making it, and we were doing like the baking soda, and I was also using apple cider vinegar, and I just found it to be really drying on my hair. But during that time, I was still eating a very like processed diet. I was still eating lots of meat, dairy, things like that, and oils, lots of oils. So one thing I noticed now, I don't use anything on my hair besides once every like week and a half to 2 weeks, I'll just squeeze a lemon on my head, and I sit out in the sun for just like a short period of time, and then I come in and take a shower and just rinse it out. I don't feel like I need to do that. I like the way that it makes my hair like look shiny after I do it, and I just it also lightens it a little bit, but I just like how it feels. If I don't wash my hair at all, which I don't, I just use water on my hair. My hair is not oily anymore. So I used to wash my hair every single morning with shampoo, and the things that are in shampoo it makes your hair produce excess oil, so that you have to wash it more, so that you have to use more of the product, so you have to go buy the product more. And that was one of the things that I noticed when I first stopped using shampoo, was that there was a transition period where it was really, really oily. But like I said, during that time, I wasn't eating the best either, and I think diet has a lot to do with it. Because now we eat, a very high, raw, clean diet that's vegan, and we don't eat extra oils like olive oil, coconut oil, just natural oils that come from, like the avocado or something like that. And I think that helps a lot because my hair is never oily. All I do in the shower is every few days I'll just like I'll get it wet and just like run my fingers through it and like massage my scalp. And after that, it looks like my hair was just washed. I also noticed that it doesn't smell either. Like it used to have like a really oily smell if I didn't wash it like every 1 to 2 days, and now I don't feel like it smells at all. Some people are turned off by the idea of not washing your hair, but I think that it's obviously very natural to not use, all of these products and stuff on our skin. And our skin is the largest organ on our body, so it's like one of the most important things where you don't want to be putting all of these chemicals and all this soap and stuff like that. And when you really start like eating naturally and living naturally, you kind of just see that there really isn't a need for all these things that they tell you that you should have or that you need. And I think that shampoo and conditioner is definitely one of them. So throughout that whole process, I think it was definitely a learning experience for me to be more comfortable with myself, to not, I'd be altering my image in any way and just accepting who I am. But it also definitely helped my health as well, because I'm not using all those harmful chemicals and dyes and all these things that are really unnecessary. So I wrote a blog post about it as well on my blog, which I'll leave the link in the description if you want to read more about it in a little bit more detail. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.